the actual history of monkey bars. Somewhere around World War II or Vietnam, World War II or whatever, JFK, Richard Nixon, they were young children and they were using massive amounts of steroids to basically turn people into super soldiers. And there is basically these big muscular, there's actually pictures of them. They said it was Hitler's secret weapon, super soldiers. But they really weren't super soldiers. They were basically just people that they used because weapons were basically illegal, and you're not supposed to, and nobody but the Germans had weapons. So basically club and stick is all they had. So Nixon and Jimmy Carter and the others, they basically steroided up these people, and they wanted these people to use motorcycles to get around because it's faster than a horse. So these big, huge, muscular guys that were basically like piles of muscles, pretty much, they couldn't pull their arms in close enough to get to the handlebars because they had so much muscle on them. So, and JFK, Richard Nixon had this problem of they needed these people to basically be able to ride around independently of everyone else. And so they're like 300-pound, 400-pound guys that were solid muscle that couldn't pull their arms in together. They like on the monkey bars, back in, this is 1920 or so, 1930, they couldn't pull their arms in together to get to the little motorcycles. So they had somebody build these monkey bars so they could grasp the bars out here and still ride the bike, still ride the motorcycle, and then maybe shoot and stuff. And they were basically like these the pictures, there's photos of them, big 400-pound guys that were like solid muscle, like they were like these A-frame. They called them the A-frame team because they looked like upside down A's because they were like little muscular legs, and they would run along like this, and they were basically what JFK and Nixon did with steroids, and they would just basically beat the crap out of people with their bare fists and hands and clubs or whatever was around. And it was basically JFK Nixon's secret weapon. And so like I said, they wanted them to ride around because they had their elite motorcycle crew or whatever. So these big 400-pound, 500-pound guys were like were like Richard Nixon and Jimmy Carter's basically they're enforcers, And so Richard Nixon and Jimmy Carter, they got these guys all steroided up, and they needed them to be able to go from town to town, enforcing for them. So they built the monkey bar bikes. Anyway, they eventually died out or withered away or whatever, or maybe they're still around. Anyway, and basically Richard Nixon or Jimmy Carter would, because they knew who these were, would just kill them off and have them killing them off or whatever. Anyway, like I say, I'm not going to, that's just basically around 1920, 1930. There were these people that were like all muscle and they couldn't get their hands in. And then later on in the 1940s, 1950s, they called it cool, man. The monkey bars are cool. And what it was, like I say, is they had so much muscle they couldn't reach in. And there's pictures of them in the 1920s, 1930s. So, and they were Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter's enforcers. Guerrilla men, they called them. So, anyway, and they posed them off as the sexiest guys or whatever and stuff and tried to get women to have sex with them. But, I mean, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, you can blame Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, and basically their secret group. And I knew about them. I might have even employed them once or twice or whatever because I paid better. So they might have ended up working for me, which is basically stopping the problems. Anyway, yeah. I mean, there's an issue with that. So anyway, like I say, Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter were trying to pretend like they were my friends. So was Rodney Briley. So I would kill off my other groups, and it's like, no, investigation. And if they broke the law, if they did something wrong, I'm not going to back them. They go to jail or they die. That's the way it is. Anyway, and so my planet, my galaxy, my 80 galaxies. And I was like, well, I'm not going to allow other... I don't do that. So, anyway, yeah. Anyway, and Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter, I mean, they're going to kill me anyway. But they're like, if you don't side with us, we won't give you anything. It's like, you're not going to give me anything anyway, and you're just going to kill me. So, I mean, I wasn't, so Germany wiped the walls with them, cleaned them up, and basically hunted them down, or Russia, or, the United States real government. Not that fake government that Richard Nixon and... Anyway, like I say, Rodney Briley was Yellers, or Yeller Group. He actually got... He said he went AWOL, but he didn't. He was dishonorably discharged for something he did from my military, along with Rick Bush and a whole bunch of other people, and basically probably rape or drugs or killing or something, or trying to kill me. So, anyway, all I know is that there were quite a few people that were a disgrace to the human race and basically existence.